Welcome back to BYO Beats Podcast, your beer and music podcast. This is 60 Minutes with the Boys because somehow we still haven't come up with a better name for it. March edition, March 2025. Sorry we missed you last month. We had some things happen and just fell apart. And
Yeah,
we
that's
realized, oh snap, we were supposed to do that. And we didn't. Oh well.
yeah. But honestly, we saw each other in person. That was part of the thing. I think it was like, well, we saw each other. That's gonna count. But
Yeah, it was we've been on a bit of a recording hiatus just because we made it through our humongous backlog and we were like, okay, we need a little bit of a break. And then that also happened. But that's behind the scenes because you guys are still getting episodes, which is fantastic. Um,
yeah,
Still got, I think, 2 months left, right? Maybe three?
two or three. I think it's more than that. I think we're
Is
our.
it really?
So, yeah, we've got. Um. Oh, no. You're right. It's just 2 months.
Yeah.
2 months, and then we have season break. That's what we were doing.
Yep. All right. So, yeah, season three is coming bit to a slow dwindle close here,
Yeah,
but don't worry, we're still active behind the scenes. I think we'll have a season four for sure.
I think so. Yeah, it's gonna look a little different. It's gonna be better. So
Yeah, yeah, I think so. We've
all
uh,
around.
we've been doing this for what 2-3 years now, so we've kind of figured out what we like, what we don't like, and we're gonna make it a little bit better. So you know what? Let's just talk about that now. How about?
I'm down with that.
Yeah, a little
Um,
sneak preview. First, I gotta open this. This is not a beer. This is an iced tea.
nice. I'm not drinking today. It's just that's another reason that I think we went on a little bit of a hiatus. We're drinking a lot of freaking beer, and that is hard on your body, which we knew going in. But it's just like, wow, my want to keep drinking beer was kind of dwindling more and more so because like 12 we would record about two shows a month, I'd say minimum, for a
Oh
good
yeah,
four months there. And it was like it was getting to a point where I didn't know which beer that I was drinking really. Like obviously I looked at the can and it was there, but it was like, what's the difference between this one and the last show? Debatable. Like it's not. It became less clear, and I didn't enjoy that a ton. But I mean, yeah. So having said that, we're going to be moving away from the beer slightly. Is that what we? That's
yeah.
what we decided,
We're
right?
tweaking it, right? So instead of 6 beers, where we taste 6 beers, we're gonna trim that number down to 3. So for
Yeah.
each weekly episode, we will have one beer that we drink and talk about. So that way, we found that a lot of our guests are not really super into the craft beer scene that much.
Yeah.
While all of them were very willing to try new things, the idea of having 6 ready to go that line up with those categories just isn't feasible for some of our guests. So it'll be easier for them to pick 3. Easy for us because we only have to talk about 3, we only have to buy 3, and being as a lot of our guests have been in different locations, so we got 3 people all across the country. Availability is always a factor, so that's going to be a lot easier for us to potentially get the same thing. Um, it'll be nice, and we can have more of it. So as
Yeah.
before, you were kind of limited to a 4 to 6 ounce pour, but now we can more comfortably drink the whole thing if we want to
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
the course of our recording of each segment, episode,
Yeah.
however you want to put that.
That's true. Well, and as you know, we're interviewing musicians, so we also had a couple shows. I don't know if you noticed that our musicians were taken in by the effects of their alcohol. I will not name names, but if you listened, you probably could tell a little bit. And we've said this on the show before. We don't really want that to be the case. That's not totally the point. The point of the alcohol is to lubricate the conversation, not pulverize it, if that makes
Right.
sense.
We're just trying to get a little bit loose and confident in our discussion capabilities,
Yeah.
which is
Yes.
hard for a lot of the people we're interviewing who are introverted. So this kind of helps.
Yes, for sure. But I think it will be appreciated as a professional type thing to not have to be fully inebriated
Yeah.
on the show. Also, beer is not cheap, as everyone in this country has been affected by prices going up on everything. Uh, a six pack of beer used to be $10, something like that, and that's like a pretty like high quality type of beer that you're getting for that. Now I doubt you can find one for under like 16 or
Yeah.
15.99 if you're in the if you're in the store or whatever. But yeah, it's going to be a lot easier, and tall boys are available too. So like, that's probably what we'll be going for if possible.
Hmm.
But um,
And one more thing on the matter, especially with musicians, the scheduling is kind of crazy. And sometimes we'd be recording on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday where it's really hard to justify drinking 6 beers.
yeah,
Even if it's a third of a beer, you're still drinking, you know, 2 to 3 beers. And with 6 of them, that whole profile, it's just like the idea of it is a little bit off putting to some people. So we
yeah,
want to make our show more accessible to more people. So
for sure. And also,
that's, yeah, yeah, go ahead.
finishing a month's worth of shows, even though that's only 2 shows, that's 12 beers that you just didn't finish.
Hmm.
That felt wasteful too. Like
Yeah.
and once in a while, people in my family that were home would try them, but they wouldn't always like them because we had a lot of like, just get whatever you want, get something that like you haven't done before or
Hmm.
something, which is part of the point, but it's a total hit or miss situation usually when you have that. So yeah, we hope the beer enthusiasts out there that do frequent our show stick with us. We will still be rating our beers as usual, and we will still be talking about them, maybe even a little bit more, because we'll have that little extra time at the beginning and end of each segment. But yeah, our focus will greatly shift to music, I think.
Hmm. And we found that that's where the most compelling conversations came from anyway.
Yeah.
And that's a good segue to our next change. We are going to try to formalize our questions that we're asking our guests. So this will do 2 things. One, it will make it a lot easier on our guests if they need to prepare and if they
Mm,
would like to prepare. I mean, because some people would rather just get taken by the conversation, and that's great. But some people need to have some outline, some idea of what they want to say and what we're going to ask. And a lot of times we've actually, for our pints show, we have a specific, I think we only ended up doing like 1 or 2 of those. But
yeah. But yes, you're right. We're shifting more towards that short style thing, but we wanted to keep our segments because we like the variety of songs.
mhm.
Uh, it's yeah, the preparation is a big thing because we were getting stories that were all across the boards. Some stories that took a little extra time to tell while still being interesting, and then other stories that were just streamlined. Like it was just kind of right to the point. So the goal will be to have them all kind of streamlined, and that yeah, preparation is key for that.
Yeah, definitely. And it will also give you listeners a chance to kind of expect what's going to be talked about in each segment. Now, it won't be the exact same show, right? Because we'll have different guests, different backgrounds, and everything. And I'm sure we'll have a large question bank that we pull from, and maybe maybe like July's episode, we'll ask questions A, B, and C, but then in August we ask D, E, F. So there'll be a good variety, and it'll still be an interesting listen, but maybe it'll be a lot easier for us on our end to make a good product for you guys.
Yeah.
Help save us time in the editing process, listening, what are we talking about? How did we get here?
Oh, man.
Because that happens a lot, especially as we get to 4, 5, and 6. So
yeah. I had an idea when we saw each other. I didn't even end up bringing this up to you because I was like, this might not actually work. But the idea was for us to edit while like streaming or something. And then anytime that we come across something that was just like not usable or anything, we like have a score. Like whoever has the most things that they had to take out, they're just like, this isn't good. Whatever we were doing just didn't work. And then whoever, I guess, would have the lowest score would win that episode or something. I don't know. Like
that's fun.
It would be fun. It would just be a lot of us staring at the screen.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so those are the two main things that we wanted to address moving into season 4. And then we have one more, but I think we'll keep that one a surprise.
Yeah. It's a little thing. It won't affect much about the show.
No, it won't affect anything. It'll just be a lot easier for everyone to understand what we're talking about.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so that's what's to look forward to in next season 4. Now let's talk about where we've been. How we doing?
Man, it's such a story because like
I feel like this
we saw
year
each other for like 2 hours, but we have not really spoken.
No.
Like,
since the new year, honestly. I looked down, it's March 24th. Are you kidding me? Right? It was New Year's Day yesterday.
Yeah. And like I think we did the stream BYO Beats in January.
Yes, we did.
But that one,
and we had McKenna's episode, which was also in January, I believe.
Yes, yeah. So yeah, it's been a long time. So yeah, no, things have been pretty good. This new job that I got in January is a lot. There's so much new information. There's so much new things going on. For listeners who, I don't know if I've talked about this on the show. So I was a line cook for this company, and they wanted to promote me to be a manager, and I accepted, but I had to change locations. So the social aspect of life has kind of been like on pause until I could get to know people at the new job. But also I'm their boss, so getting to know them is kind of cryptic, like because you have to be interested, but also be extra nice and create an environment where you can be upset at them for not doing their job correctly. But like, not that that's part of the job. That's part of the job. It's just not like the main point. The point is to take care of your staff and things like that. And I think I do that best when I know people and have created some sort of relationship with them. So that's been difficult because it's kind of lonely to create work friendships, if that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, I've been leading on a couple people, but also I've been so tired because it's a salary position instead of an hourly position. So the amount of hours that you work doesn't matter anymore. It's you get there when you're scheduled, and you leave when the work is done, not when your schedule says you're done.
Yep.
So that's been a thing. About a week and a half ago, not even no a week ago, our dishwasher stopped working for 4 or 5 days. That was quite the thing to go into the three compartment sink and wash dishes like it's 1970 something. Uh, that was not fun.
I
But
bet. That sounds
yeah,
terrible.
it was not great. Yeah, we closed early the first day it happened. Then the second day was a Sunday, our busiest day because it was
You can't
breakfast restaurant.
can't close early on Sunday.
Nope, nope. We stayed open, hand washed all day. Um, Luckily, our regional manager is kind of like a savant when it comes to the machinery that we have in our restaurants. So like he's able to fix a lot of things if it's just like something fell out of place or something like that. But it was well past something was out of place. Things were broken.
Oh no.
A spindle was mentioned, and I was like, "Well, I don't know what a spindle is, so I'm just gonna not." And let the higher ups that know way more than me because I've only been at this job for 3 months do what they do. So yeah, it's a lot. I'm learning a lot. I'm also growing as a person, though. It's having a salary job definitely changes your outlook on how you spend your money, how important being an adult in adulthood really is. So,
A lot of things are great about it, but also a lot of things really suck about it. Growing up sucks.
sort of, yeah. But it's not that it is bad to have money. Obviously, it's good to have money, but it's also terrifying to know exactly how much money you're going to get and seeing all the things you have to use it for. That's the part that sucks. So anyway, that was I rambled for a minute there, but uh that's what's been going on with me.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's good though.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I also had a change. I don't know if we've even mentioned this on the show. I changed my job in December, early December. But because of like the
Yeah.
timing, it's kind of hard to explain. Um, the way I'm a software engineer, right? So whereas before what I was doing was like writing code that we goes into a specific product, now what I do is more support. So I support the kind of functions and features that all the people that write code that becomes products, I kind of support them now, and I do like system wide, like platform stuff, as opposed to product. So my job is now more, and it's focused on the cloud and it's focused on cybersecurity. But now, whereas before I had like customers in the field, now my customers are the other engineers at my company, if that makes sense. That's
Yes.
kind of the
Okay.
best way to describe what I do without using any of the technical terms. Um, so yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no.
been a lot to adjust to because I never kind of envisioned myself going this way. It just kind of happened, and we're rolling with it. Because if I've learned anything, it's that plans do not exist, and you just got to be ready to take what life gives you.
Kind of, yeah.
It's
Like
like you can have this perfect picture of how you want everything to go, and take that and just throw it away because that's not going to happen. It's like
mm,
life is going to throw you curveballs, and you better hope he hangs it over the plate. Because
right.
otherwise, you're going to look like Javi Baez swinging in the dirt.
Nice.
Can you
But yeah,
tell I'm excited for baseball to start? Baseball starts this week.
it does. Wow. Oh man, I don't like how quick that happened. I like that baseball is coming back though. Um yeah, it is also March Madness at the moment.
It is
Uh we're doing pretty well.
Sweet 16 for the Spartans.
Yes, we had some solid games. If you're listening to this on the day it releases, you'll be watching with us on
Friday.
tomorrow,
Yeah.
Thursday. Oh
Friday.
no, we play Friday. The other Sweet 16 starts Thursday, but Yeah, we play Friday. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
They've scared us twice now, and then by the end of the game, it's just like, oh, they had it the whole time. So,
yeah. That's how this season has gone though. That's been the recipe for success for this Spartan team. Is it's always been second half. It's always been we've got depth. It's
yep,
been sticking to the game plan, running the floor, transition, and
yep.
all
Man,
the
they're
things
fast.
that they say.
They're so fast. Like it's crazy, and that that the part that you just said that they're such a second half team is why I'm so skeptical about the rest of this tournament because it takes the whole game
Mm-hmm.
to win. Like you cannot play half a game.
No.
There were upsets already that have happened that it's like if they played even half as well as they did in that first half, they would have blown them out. But they lost by 3 because they didn't play the whole first half.
Yeah. Are you talking about what was that McNeese versus Clemson?
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Well, I will say I think part of that was the only reason that why they came back, right? Was and this actually was as much as I hated it was a really brilliant piece of coaching by the Clemson coach. If you looked at the last 6 minutes of that game, the last 6 minutes probably
it
took
took forever.
longer than the
Yeah.
rest of the game combined.
Yeah.
It was a masterclass in drawing out the game
Hmm.
because the Clemson coach knew, okay, hey, this McNeese team, they've got maybe 5 guys who can play.
Yep.
So if we just make this grueling and make it a grind and make it physical and slow, they're going to get tired. My guys are going to get open. We'll be able to score, and that's exactly what they did. But
Yeah.
McNeese was able to hold on, which I was stoked about because I had them winning that game.
Did you really?
I
Very
did,
nice.
yeah. I actually, my first round, the only game that I was like totally, because I filled out, I think, 2 brackets, one for my work league and then one for my family group. Um, there were two, okay, there were two really that I got wrong. One was the Michigan, UC San Diego, but I have this thing, right? Whenever I fill out a bracket, I physically cannot get myself to have these two things not happen. One of them is Michigan State winning. Doesn't matter how good we are that year. I make them win the bracket. I
Right.
can't help myself to not do that. And if Michigan's in, they lose in the first round. I can't help but not do that.
Okay.
So that was one was the Michigan UC San Diego thing, which that game actually kind of came down to the wire a bit. I mean, it was
Yeah.
so late that I didn't. I watched the first half and then I was like, I'm going to bed. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing this anymore. Uh, and I'm in Mountain Time. I can't even imagine you in Eastern Time. That's just
Yeah.
so
The,
ridiculous.
yeah. It started at like
10
10:15.
o'clock. That's ridiculous. 10:15, right?
Yeah.
Because they can't start on time.
Yeah. It was. I saw the tip off and I was like, I'm going to bed. I don't really care that much.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. That's another thing about this new job. I can't be late. It's not a thing anymore. It's not like, oh, I overslept. Sorry. No, because that means that the door didn't get unlocked. But
Yeah.
it's not just I'm late. Whoops. Sorry, it won't happen again. It's everyone that was supposed to be there on time that was probably also on time.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you fucking doing?
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah. The other
10
game
o'clock
was
is
the
too
other the other game that I got wrong was Georgia versus Gonzaga. That one was kind of a toss up because
I
I'm
did
like
too.
I looked at it and I was like everyone's talking about how great the SEC is supposed to be. And I know Gonzaga had a down year. So I was like, okay, I think I'll just roll with the Bulldogs and then they got rolled,
Yeah.
which
Well, that was the thing is I think the whatever conference it is that the Gonzaga's in.
oh yeah, it's like the I can never even remember it. It's something Western West Coast Conference, WCC, I think.
That sounds right. Yeah.
It's got them in like St. Mary's and
Yeah. Well, and that was the final game for their tournament.
yeah.
Well, I had it in the back of my mind. I was just like, well, maybe they'll pull it out, but then again, Georgia's in the SEC And right now for the Sweet 16, there's 5 SEC teams and 4 Big Ten teams, I think,
I
if
thought
I
I saw
counted right.
seven SEC
7
teams.
SEC. That was I
It's
couldn't
absurd.
remember which teams for an SEC anymore because both conferences are so freaking big. It doesn't
Hmm.
make any sense anymore.
Yeah, and so that's another thing I wanted to talk about was everyone's like the headline of this tournament so far is there have been no Cinderella teams, no huge
Arkansas,
upsets. But I
10
mean,
seed in the Sweet 16. That's
but this is the first time that there hasn't been lower than a 12 in
oh
the
really?
last like X number of years. It's something that a lot of people are talking about online. It's like, okay, well, why is it now that in the Sweet 16 for the first time it's only these Power Four conferences? A lot of people are saying that it's NIL and the
Yeah.
transfer portal, and a lot of
Hmm.
people are saying, yeah, these smaller schools they can't hold on to their guys; they leave to go to the power conferences.
Yeah.
And another thing that no one's talked about, I saw one comment on this, and I forgot who it was or what post it was on, but this person is really smart. They said, I feel like it's less of an NIL thing and more of a conference realignment thing. Because if you
Hmm.
look at the list of 16 teams, sure, it's only 4 conferences, but now that's basically eliminating, like, there's Houston, who used to be in American.
Yeah.
There's Arizona, used to be Pac 12. That's 2
Yep.
conferences right there. BYU was in Mountain West. There's another one. So now we've added 3 of those mid major. Well, I guess 2 mid major because I think Pac-12, especially with basketball, is considered power. But I
Yeah.
mean, that's 3 conferences that have since been eliminated. So it's like, okay,
Midwest
well, is
isn't
it 4 or is it 7? What? How do we want to look at this? So
Mountain West isn't a conference anymore.
no, they are, but BYU left to join the Big 12.
Ah, okay, okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
Colorado State was and New Mexico were both Mountain West. I think New
Where
Mexico
did New Mexico?
won, huh?
What conference did New Mexico go to? Also Big 12?
No, they're still Mountain West.
Oh, I see. Okay,
I was trying to say that in the tournament they were the representatives.
I see.
Well, I think there
Okay.
were 4 total, but those were the ones that made it into the second round, from what I remember.
Yeah, and I always feel weird about like the 15 and 16 seeds, and there's a few that were a little bit higher. Like McNeese was what 12.
12, yeah.
Yeah, they're just schools you've never heard of, and obviously they get screen time for the first time in their season. That's great, but their hopes get so high because they made the tournament, which is great. But with this realignment stuff, like unless you find yourself in one of those conferences, it's gonna be tough. Like,
Yeah, well, it's like, and look at UC San Diego, right? This was, I think, the first year that they were eligible for the tournament. They just barely moved up to D1. And not
yeah,
only did they make it, but they gave Michigan a real run for their money.
right,
Like, that's spectacular to see. It's like, you only wish they could have gotten the job done, It's
yeah,
for more reasons than one, us state fans. But, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how things shake out next year. To see if this pattern continues or if we get some upsets back.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we haven't really talked about it on the show a lot, but I think mostly just because it's a huge topic and we're not necessarily a sports podcast. But I would love to dive into like some of the NIL and transfer portal stuff across both basketball and football because I think it's really changed college sports, and not necessarily for the better.
For the sake of the games themselves, probably not. But for the worth of the players, that might be a different story.
Yeah, it's there are it's just so multifaceted that you can't say this is good or bad. It's
Right.
good but bad but.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we're coming up on time for our first half here, so uh, we'll rinse out our glasses, pour our next drinks, and be back at you for segment 2. And we are back to 60 Minutes with the Boys, March edition. Caught them off guard. Um, Last thing on sports, because we talk a lot of sports and I want to make sure we talk about other things too. Uh, Shout out Michigan State hockey.
Yes.
Won the Big Ten season and the tournament back to back. So last year and this year, and that's the first time that that's happened in Big Ten hockey tournament history, which I believe goes back to like '07 or something.
Oh no.
So 11 years, there's never been a back-to-back regular season and tournament champion.
There we go. I don't know why that happened.
So I'll be looking forward to hopefully they can make it far into the NCAA tournament. They've got Cornell in the first round, so
Okay.
should be a tough game. They're pretty good, and it's a lot different too because it's only 16 teams, I believe, that make it into the tournament for hockey. Yeah,
That's so few.
yeah.
I mean,
it is.
to come up with something as well executed as March Madness is a lot. It's like
Yeah, I
so
mean,
much capital involved, so much advertising, so much everything. Like,
yeah, I would like to see it extended to 32. I think that would be pretty cool, just for the sake of, it's already like when they do rankings for college hockey, it's top 20, not top 25. So, I mean, you think about it like 25 to 64, right? And you got all these conference winners that get their auto bids in the at-large or whatever. So it would be a little bit, like the parity might not be as good with 32, and maybe that's why they stick to the 16. But with how fast hockey is growing in the United States, especially at the NCAA level, I think we could probably see it in the next couple of years. I would like to see it in the next couple of years anyways. But yeah.
nice. All right. Should we talk music? Probably should.
Yeah, this is a beer and music podcast, although neither of us had beer today.
That's okay, I think.
That tends to be the theme for these 60 Minutes
Yeah.
episodes, but
Yeah. Even though I'm doubling down on Course Banquet here. But man, I've been at a loss because we don't do the show. I get so few recommendations. Not we don't do the show. It's just been about 2 months now since we've had an interview. And while I don't always immediately love all of the songs that end up on this podcast, they send me down rabbit holes. So like I find probably one or two per show that I'm like, can see myself listening to that. For some reason, one reason or another, even though I liked a lot of the music, I haven't gone down a rabbit hole in a while.
yeah. Well, I feel like part of it too is how tired you've been. Because it takes energy to like listen to something and be like, "Ooh, yeah, maybe I need to look more into this." And then you start investing time and effort into it, and then it just gets more and more.
Yes. And it helps that I now have a 30-minute commute instead of a 15-minute commute. So that's usually when I'll do it. But I've been hitting the Discover Weekly on Spotify pretty hard lately. Today, I got a Bob Dylan song for the first time.
Oh, wow.
Which I'm kind of surprised that I never have.
Yeah,
'Cause I liked it.
Yeah, I've been kind of in not like a discovery mood, but I haven't actually been, because usually I listen to music when I work. But recently I've taken to putting just like YouTube on and just having it play, and it's just like noise,
Yeah.
where it's like, so it's actually been I'll go ahead and just shout it out. Ethos Lab Minecraft Let's Play.
Okay.
So I started way back at the beginning, which was 12 years ago, 13 years ago. So it's one continuous playlist. It's got like 500 or 600 episodes. And I started back at the beginning. So
Man.
it's like 20 to 30 minute episodes, and It's also nice because it kind of gives me a sense of like I hear the outro and I'm like, oh, it's been about 20 minutes. Oh, it's been about 30 minutes, and it's kind of a nice way to keep time. But like he's got a really nice voice, like a Bob Ross type deal,
Okay,
where
yeah,
it's like it's really nice. Like you can focus in on it if you want and you're entertained, but you can also just kind of have it on
right,
and kind of have ambient.
yeah.
So
I feel like I've said this on the show before. My version of that is a show called Forged in Fire. It was originally on the History Channel, I think.
hmm
All they do is make knives and swords from scratch, and it's like machine shop noises, and like, I turn it way down, but it's like I'll fall asleep to it because I'm learning something ish from watching them, and eventually the noise just kind of fades to black. If it,
yeah,
yeah, but yeah, music is tough when it, it's gotten stale for you. Like, uh, oh, I can talk about this because I really enjoyed this. I just played a concert this past weekend. The big piece was Pines of Rome by Respighi, and it's sort of about like pines as in like trees and stuff, but it's also not at all. So like, it's four movements, and they go directly into each other. But there's lots of pieces out there that you can't really tell when each movement ends when they do that, but you can definitely tell for these ones. So the first one is like children playing, and it's in 2/8, then 3/8, and then back to 2/8. But the conductor's always in one, so it's just like
all
you
right.
do you up there. I'm not looking at you. uh, and like you know the instrument, the ratchet,
hmm
like that you whip around. This, yeah, right. Most of the time, like you'll see them on TV, and they're like at a birthday party as like a noisemaker, and they're like that big.
hmm
This thing is that big, and it's our timpani player playing it, and she's like a late 50s, early 60s old lady, and she's going, and then and my dad went to the concert. No, my whole family did, and he was like, I thought it was gonna fly away, but not her, but like he was so worried that she was gonna let go and it was gonna hit somebody. And I was like, I don't think that she did it every rehearsal, and that didn't happen. So, uh, so yeah, that was in the children playing. The second movement is see, this is why I don't really understand why it's called the Pines of Rome, because it goes from children to the catacombs. So like yeah, so it goes from like wild noises that the ratchet and other musical things that he does with the children stuff is like super crass, super like if it was more than the 3 or 4 minutes that it is, you'd be like, I can't listen to this anymore.
Oh,
Just like little kids when they play.
right, right.
So as soon as that movement ends, it's 4-part writing, but in the cellos and basses. So it's two different cello parts, two different bass parts. I've never heard of two different bass parts happening at the same time before, and it's just like you're starting here, and you can feel it sinking down into the bad fire,
Wow.
and yeah. So and then it goes into like a chant type thing eventually. Uh, the whole orchestra is bum 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 over and over, getting louder and louder. And there's like a little bit of a theme that goes over top of that. So that's the catacombs. And then you do go into the forest,
Mm.
and there's a clarinet solo, which is like super quiet, and it's the perfect instrument because clarinets can play quieter than like every other instrument there is. this guy soloing was phenomenal. Uh, that's like the nightingale. That's like twittering and things. And there's a point where he's just holding a note, and each individual violin is told in their part to just start do a little trill at pianissimo whenever you feel like it.
Huh.
Every different violin, and then they have a soundboard that plays actual bird noises during this. And I was
Interesting.
like, that's so cool, man. And then the last movement is about the ghosts of the past. So, like, I guess the ghosts of the children and the ghosts
In the
that were
catacombs.
in the catacombs. Yeah, and the ghosts of the birds.
Hmm.
And it's just an epic ending, and it's freaking great. It is,
Sounds
yeah.
like homework for us to listen to it.
Go listen to the Finds of Rome. Uh, there's another piece called The Fountains of Rome. That's not the one I'm talking about, but it's also very good. It's also by Respighi. Uh, yeah, he likes Rome, I guess. But, so yeah, that was that concert. There were a couple other pieces. We played the Haydn trumpet concerto. I wasn't on that. Uh, the Prokofiev First Symphony, and then there was a Berlioz piece called The Trojans, Royal Hunt, and Storm. Yeah, Royal Hunt and Storm. That one, it's fine. It's not a great Berlioz piece. Go to listen to Symphony of Fantastique if you're listening to Berlioz. But so yeah, that was my weekend.
Yeah, music for me, like I've just been kind of falling into the same thing. If you follow my personal Instagram, you'll see like I've been like this year, since the new year, I've been listening to a lot of Real Friends.
Mm-hmm.
Real Friends and Hot Mulligan has been like the main two, and then also like Heart Attack Man and System of a Down, and then my gym playlist.
Okay.
Which my gym playlist and System of a Down have a lot of common stuff.
Oh, okay.
uh,
It is good workout music.
yeah, that yeah. So that's been my listening habits when I'm DJing, but most of what I've been listening to is when we're in the car and Janelle's got the aux. So we've been listening to a lot of like, I don't know how to put it. It's like the more folky side of country. So like not rock country, pop country. Don't like if you think of like Nashville,
Uh-huh.
how it's kind of like, and maybe this is like an outsider's perspective, right? I don't know all the nitty gritty details, but like when you
Yeah.
think of the popular country song, like, oh, what's that guy? Morgan
Morgan
Wallen.
Wallen, yeah.
Yes, not that kind of country.
Okay.
More of like Zach Bryan and a lot of it is like guy's name. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yeah, almost all of the
Well, that's all.
country.
That's a lot of the country because even
Yeah.
the pop country is like that.
Well, and it's funny because they still change their name from their actual name sometimes, just
Sometimes,
to
yeah,
sound more folky.
yeah. So like Zach Bryan and Hosier and um, oh, Shaky Graves. We're actually seeing Shaky Graves tomorrow. He's coming to Cheyenne. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
And then there's Tyler Childers.
Yes, I know that one for
Yeah.
sure.
So like banjo country
Okay.
as opposed to guitar country, if that
Huh.
makes sense.
It makes sense to me.
Hopefully, listeners understand what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. But
Yeah.
if you listen to it, you understand the difference. This is like more soft, more acoustic. Not to say that it's like exclusive, just that's the vibes.
Nice.
So yeah, it's been cool because that's a relatively new genre for me.
Country is.
Yeah, as like I didn't grow up listening to it, right? That's never something that I've reached for myself.
Sure.
It's never something I've been like strictly opposed to. I mean,
Mhm.
I tend to favor older country or this folky stuff as opposed to the poppy, rocky country.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that totally tracks with how you listen to other genres of music too, though.
mhm. It's
Yeah,
that tends to be the themes that I'm more prone to listening to.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I grew up with a small amount of country. Like there was the songs that like everyone knows, like Chicken Fried, and what's the I can't remember the guy's name, but the song goes, "It's a great day to be alive. You know the
Mm.
sun's still shining when I close."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's songs, the country songs that almost everyone knows and can recognize within 30 seconds of
Mm-hmm.
hearing it. So yeah, I've had a couple sprinkled in. I do know there's a lot of them that I don't really care for. Like Blake Shelton, I can't really stand him because mostly because of the voice. Like if I don't like a personality, then I can't really get on board with liking their music.
Yeah.
That's kind of an issue for me a lot of the time. Like almost bringing up Kanye again, but we don't need
Rest in peace, Kanye West. It really sucked that he died after releasing Donda, right?
to. Yeah, that's what happened.
That's what happened, and that is I am not taking any inquiries. That's exactly what happened.
He died. What the-
I saw someone commented that on a. It was one of his recent. I don't even know what to call it at this point. Mental lapses, perhaps.
Yeah.
Outbursts is another one.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, man. Or one of my favorite memes was the but he made graduation rebuttal, and it was someone took an edit of like the old Windows XP error box message.
Oh yeah.
It said error, and it said you have run out of but he made graduation.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so
When did graduation come? I'm looking it up.
it was like 2009, earlier, 5 maybe.
7. Yeah,
7. Split the
2007.
difference. Yeah.
Yeah. We're almost to 20 years ago. Like sorry, it's not
You can't say
not
that
relevant
anymore.
enough anymore. If that yeah, that I think
Not
that's
enough to outweigh the recent
acceptable.
events.
No, and there's so many other rappers to listen to that are just as talented
Hmm.
and way less problematic. Like
Yeah.
Tyler the Creator has come out with several things. Like
Oh
we
yeah.
did an album review of his. I don't know that we got the best one though.
Right. We did Igor,
Yeah,
which was
which was good.
it was it's my favorite album of his,
Yeah.
but
What do you think of Chromacopia?
it's good. It's different. It's really vulnerable.
Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of hard for me to listen to because I just want to be digesting it instead of just listening to listen.
I see. Okay.
It's like it's one of those albums that you put on and you got to think about it. Because I mean, it's the replay value for me. With an album like that, I talk about Taboo, and I talk with Denzel Curry, and for rappers anyway, and Good Kid, Mad City. Those are two albums that are, if you dive into the lyrics, you can really get into it, and it's like, oh, there's a lot going on here. But then you can also just put them on, and they're so good. Like the songs themselves, as individual entities, are so good that you can just put it on and listen to it and not think.
Yeah.
But I think with Chromacopia, there's only like one or two songs that really have that replay value of put it on and it's a banger because they're so thinky.
Right.
So, time and a place for everything. I haven't been listening to it because it's too thinky to just put on. But I think Igor kind of is more along the lines of what I was just talking about, where in and of themselves, individual entities, you don't have to think about it, and it's still just as enjoyable as if you do. And that's, of course, is just my opinion.
Yeah. You made me think of Forest Hills Drive by J.
Mm.
Cole.
Yeah, I had a hard time. I've never been able to get into J. Cole. I don't know why. I just hasn't done it
I
for
would
me.
I would say that would be the album to go for. Just it's very I'm a teenager.
Hmm. Yeah,
Uh,
it's like Frank Ocean.
yeah, kind of. Yeah.
The album is like really good, but it's very I'm a teenager,
Hmm.
and that's
Yeah,
something that was awesome in college. But now 5 years removed, it's a little less relatable,
for sure,
and
for
it's
sure.
like I don't know. I gotta listen to it though. I'll do that again. Definitely got to do
Right.
what it's Blonde, right? Is the big Frank Ocean one.
Yes, that is a big one. Yeah,
Blonde
which
and
is
Channel
always
Orange.
I
Is that
think
it?
so.
Is that Frank Ocean?
Blonde is definitely Frank Ocean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I kind of know what I'm talking about.
Hmm. Did you ever try Daniel Caesar?
Only the songs that we've had on the show.
Oh, okay, gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah, because he's more like R&B, right?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, I have to see when I get it. I have to like get into an R&B mood. It's hard for
Got
me to just like pull up R&B.
it's like sushi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about you. I can't just be like, I don't know what I want to eat. Let's just get some sushi. Definitely never.
No, it's
If
got to be
I'm
like, you know what I want right this moment?
a salmon skin roll, or what?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
something like
Oh yeah.
that.
Yeah. And it's like with the weekend too. I'll go on like huge like 3 month. I'm listening exclusively to the weekend right now, and then I won't touch his music again for years. It's so bizarre because I just recently was like I haven't listened to his stuff in a while. I'm like, yeah, this is good, but it's just not what I want right now.
Right.
So
That's where I'm at with Chance the Rapper at this point. 3 and 4 and 5 years ago. Holy crap, that was all I was listening to. But yeah, you pick the right song off Coloring Book, and I'll definitely listen to it. But man, I do know all the words, and if you know my memory well enough to like, if I need to recall something, and I know that I know it, it's already there. I don't need to go listen to it.
hmm.
A blessing and a curse.
All right, so we've got about 5 minutes left here. Um, I saw this. It was like a meme or a post or something. Um, and this is we're way changing gears here. So this
Okay.
was it was about Bob's Burgers. So it said, the post went something like this. I like to think that I would be a regular at Bob's Burgers. However, I know for a fact that I would never come back if I would. Or no, no, it was. I know for a fact I'd be pissed if I was just trying to eat and there was an 8-year-old boy, possibly in his underwear, singing with a fart keyboard.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh, I'd
like,
be so mad.
well, I'm just thinking about that, right? I'm like, what would I do in that situation? And then it got me thinking to this prompt that we'll end this episode with. What is one fictional restaurant that you would definitely want to go to and one that you would never want to go to? This can be from any show, animated, live action, based on real life, not based on real life.
I would want to go to the soup stand from the from
From
Seinfeld, the
Seinfeld?
soup Nazi. Yeah, I want to go to that soup stand because soup is so good.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
and you ever watch Binging with Babish?
Mm-mm.
No, he's a YouTube cook, a really freaking good one, and he's got like a series where he makes dishes from TV shows.
Mm.
Like there's a Krabby Patty, there's things like that, and yeah, he did the crab bisque from that episode, and I wanted to make it so bad, but he just kept adding more and more ingredients, and I was just like, I can't pay for this. Sorry. um. So yeah, that would be the one I would want to go to. You're gonna have to give me a minute on
Yeah,
one I
that's
do.
that one is something I've been struggling with too. So I think, and just my personality, right? I've come to the decision that I think the one place that I would not want to go to is the Michelin restaurant from the Bear, because I am not a fancy
Whoa.
person
Mm.
and I have a hard time being fancy at like that kind of thing. Because like we went to Vegas, right? Just to I don't remember why we went. Oh, it was for when we were Young Fest, but
Yep.
we went to like this super fancy sushi place, and I don't know. I just kind of like felt weird being there, if that makes sense. And maybe that's just because it was in Vegas, and Vegas is just weird in and of itself. But living in Chicago, it's like we went to a couple fancy places, and it's like, I found that I got just as much enjoyment going to a random hole in the wall Mexican restaurant in Pilsen than
Yes.
going into the River North and finding the fanciest, get dressed up and go, and a cocktail is $25, and it's like I'd rather spend $25 and have the best rice and beans ever. I'm a simple man.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and with that, I think, and this is kind of a cliche answer, but I want to try a Krabby Patty so bad, man. Like they just look. I love cheeseburgers.
Hmm.
I gotta try that, man. Gotta try it. And I think at Bob's Burgers, I think I've ultimately decided that if the food was good enough, because those prices you can see, those prices
Yeah.
are low.
It's
So
true.
it's like if I lived right there, yeah, I think I'd just deal with it.
Mm. I'm gonna. I was thinking on the same wavelength as you for a restaurant I wouldn't want to go to. The Bear
Hmm.
crossed my mind, but the first one from there uh, was the original beef, and I was like, I don't know if I would want to go in there and have someone like what's the cousin's name, Richie.
Richie, just cuss you out.
Yeah, no, I would. I'd be like, what the no, no, this is, like horrible. Like, but this is from a weird perspective to me now as a restaurant manager. So
Right.
it's like because, like I said, we're breakfast only, so we're kind of in that same space. Like you are slinging it. Like it's
Hmm.
just like grab and go. People are in and out within 40 minutes. If they're there longer, the servicers like, why are these people still here? What's
Yeah.
going on here? They picked up their. I gave them their check after like 10 minutes ago. Why are they still here?
Yeah.
But I would want to go to the Michelin restaurant in the Bear once,
Yeah, I think,
just to
yeah.
have the experience. But I get what you're saying. From Ratatouille, just straight up Gusteau's. Every dish that they described that was on their menu, except for the Ratatouille, I was like, that sounds awful. But so they're talking about sweetbreads, which is cow brains,
Ooh.
and that like it's just like no. And then foie gras is like
That's duck liver, right?
yeah. I'm just like what I know it's French, and I know I'm so not French, and like that's fine, but I can't do it. So yeah, a French restaurant. That's just the first one that came to mind.
Yeah.
Um, I would eat at whatever the restaurant is that they opened after the fact.
At
That
the
was
end of the
called
movie. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Because that to have food made by Remy, yeah, I would want that.
Remy's a
But
savant. Everyone knows it.
oh yeah,
All right, so that'll be time. I thought that was a fun segment. I think that's
yeah,
something
that
we
was
can
cool.
start doing on these, like a dumb question like that about
Yeah,
fictional places. It's always
is a
fun.
hot dog a sandwich?
No, we're not
No.
talking about that. Um, if you enjoyed our show, make sure you check us out on all the socials. We're gonna be at BYOBeats_podcast. Um, Instagram is what we do the most, although I know I've been slacking on posting things that are interesting. I'm
I haven't
sorry, I'm
looked
bad
since
at it.
October. I looked and I was just like, when was the last Drinks with Us or Swigs with Shweegs? The last one was October 24th.
We're bad at it. I'm sorry.
It's okay, but I think yeah,
Spotify, we're always posting, and on the YouTube, that's where we're posting our episodes. We're gonna try and stream on Twitch more. It's just hard to get our schedules nailed down, so that's why we don't stream very much. We've streamed one time. It was really fun, and you can actually check out that recording on our Twitch. Eventually, I'm gonna figure out how to put it on our YouTube as well. We're not doing the TikTok. We're not sure if it's real or not.
yeah. Well, and I think I shared this on one of our interview episodes. I got rid of it when it
When
got
it,
banned, and then I just never got it back. And now I have free time, and I still have Instagram Reels,
which is the
like
same
Johnny
thing.
has.
It's the same
It's
thing.
totally the same. And then there's YouTube Shorts, which I swear, like they're gonna get removed eventually. Well, I don't know. YouTube and copyright is so strange, and they have like clips of any show you can think of, plus the YouTube content, plus movie clips. It's just like I think I've seen all of what's the movie about Helen Keller?
I don't know. I didn't even know there was a movie about Helen Keller.
Yeah, it's not really her. It's not a documentary. It's like the story of her teacher who like lived with her
Huh.
only, like, and her parents were like totally enabling her, and it's really sad. Like I've freaking cried at these YouTube shorts. I was just like, this is too much in 2 minutes, man.
But yeah, we're at the point where you can watch an entire movie in 2 minute increments over the course of
Yeah,
30 days.
it's
Um,
not.
but yeah, that's where the socials are the things for people who enjoy that stuff. If you want to get in touch with us directly, you can do that via DM on Instagram, or you can send us an email at byobeats.business@gmail.com. That's really more if you have like a suggestion for a beer you'd like us to try, or an artist to interview, or something to talk about on one of these uh, kind of variety random shows, streaming stuff, like anything you want to bounce off of us. If it's something you want to see in a show, feel free. Um,
We'll probably do it.
yeah, we probably will. Yeah, so and then our playlist of all of the songs we've ever featured on the show. That's on our link tree. That's the easiest way to find it. BYO Beats Podcast, the complete collection. It's a public playlist on Spotify. That's where we house all that. And it's also where I put things that have been on episodes we've recorded but not released. So if you want sneak peeks, follow that playlist. And you can get kind of a little preview into what's coming over the next couple of months. So that's all the things, I think. Right? Yeah,
Yeah, you get them all.
we did it.
For us here at BYO Beats, this is your boss with the sauce, Nathan Dawes, signing off for myself and Johnny Shweegs. And remember, musicians are people too, especially with more beer.